long distance situationship. Why are you even talking about it? Red flag, yes, never speak to him again. Boob jobs, butt jobs. Put your legs like this and just look at her. Light on fire and disappear into ash, where it probably belongs. But he still watches all my stuff. What does this mean? This means that you need to block him. Think about that. Like, are you down to eat the kitty cat? Are you really? Masturbation. Welcome, my loves, to a Q&A on any questions you wanted to ask me about boys and girls. So I guess it would be called dating advice, which, like, you would probably ask, like, why are you giving it? What are your qualifications? None really, but I'm gonna give you my opinion anyways. So the first one, I was falling in love and got ghosted out of nowhere. How can I trust someone again? Easy. Not everyone is that person. I feel like a lot of times humans will fester on something, and like once you think it, it's like, all right, well, that's everybody, and that's like just not the truth. You have to, one, learn from that and recognize if there's a pattern there, I feel like, and not go towards and gravitate towards someone that's going to treat you that same exact way, because that's fucking ridiculous and really dumb. You also have to, when you meet that person, not hold your traumas and your pains against them. And once you think like, they're gonna do the same thing, you need to program yourself. You need to catch that thought and you need to replace it with, but they're not that person. You don't want to keep carrying that on for the rest of your life. If someone disrespected you enough to ghost you and not even give you the honesty and the decency of a response and like letting you know like, hey, this isn't gonna work for me, whatever, they're trash people anyways. But also, how dare you let them traumatize you and maybe potentially damage your future relationships? Are they worth that? No. The guy that I'm talking to takes 2 days to respond and then does a double text. Red flag, yes, never speak to him again. How long should you wait for someone to... Someone said, how long should you wait for someone to propose, or is there even a limit on time? Considering I'm a psychopath, I got engaged after about like a month and a half, I think probably even less than that. I don't feel qualified to answer this question. For me personally, I didn't really care. I think at the end of the day, like, a ring is just a ring. It's a piece of jewelry. You can buy me a Cartier ring and it's kind of the same thing. I think people place a lot of weight on that engagement ring when it's not necessarily the signing of marriage papers. So that's kind of the way that I processed it, and I wanted to wait like a good amount of time before actually getting married. So no, I don't think there's a wait for a proposal. I think do it whenever you want, like if you want, and you guys have both talked about it. I don't think it's that deep, but I think people make it deeper than it is. So do with that what you wish. I've been dealing with a lot of rejection this year and I'm feeling down. How do I not lose hope? Honestly, I think rejection makes you funnier. I think it makes you witty. It sucks to be rejected. Like, it truly does. It makes you feel down, but just realize that you get rejected. Okay, oh well, next. You move on. It's not the right person. There wasn't that connection. It's okay. But you don't have to internalize it so deeply and start thinking that there's things that you're lacking as a person, because it could just not be the right person, or it is in fact just not the right person. It doesn't mean that you're stupid or ugly or that you've done something wrong. It just means that that wasn't the person. So don't internalize it and make yourself feel like you're lacking, because you're not, and don't lose hope over that, okay? You're gonna find your person when the time is right. Anyone else that didn't see your beauty and didn't get the chance to get to know you as a person, it's their loss, all right? Just remember that, it's their loss, okay? Don't forget what you're bringing to the table, just because someone else doesn't want to grab it, right? How do I tell him that I like him? I don't know. People always ask that because they're like shy. I'm a very bold person. I'll walk straight up to you and be like, you're hot, take me on a date. Like, I don't know. If I like someone, you're going to know. You will know. So my thing would be to text him and say, I like you. But like, I get that that's kind of like difficult, but I challenge you to just text him and be like, yo, I kind of fuck with you heavy. Literally make it like chill. I don't know. That's what I would do. So if you do it, let me know. I'm in a situationship. We are long distance. I don't know what to do. I think I'm in love with him and he cares about me, but not in the same way that I care about him. You need to trust your gut on that. If you're already saying that you care about him more than he cares about you, and it's a long distance situationship, why are you even talking about it? I think long distance relationships, for the most part, are absolutely buffoonery. Like, literally, it's foolish. Like, what are you doing? You miss out on so much of the actual core parts of a relationship when you're long distance. Like, seeing that person's mood fluctuation, seeing their habits, seeing their cleanliness, hanging out with them, getting to know them, being in their energy. When you meet someone on the internet and then they meet you in person, it is different, okay? And yes, there might be that one story that worked out, but most of them fucking don't. And most of the long distance relationships that actually work out, they knew each other before they went long distance. So it's a long distance situationship and you already feel like he doesn't like you the way that you like him, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. Why would you put yourself through something like that? If you already know, you know, maybe if you want to get that like clarity for yourself, you can tell him, hey, I like you, like, do you like me back? Like, are we actually gonna do anything serious? But if you know deep down and you have that gut feeling and that overwhelming feeling, you already know the answer. You know, you already know the answer. You just need to find the strength within yourself to respect yourself enough to want to better and want to actually find a relationship that's good for you and healthy for you and doesn't make you worry like that. I have a crush on a short king. I'm 5'10", so this is new for me. What do you think? When I was a junior in high school, I dated someone that was 5'8", and I was 5'11", like 6 feet. So I don't really think it matters. I don't think it matters at all. Short men love tall women. I think it's cute. I think it's different. You know, how many relationships do you see where the guy's like tall and the girl's short? Like, it's kind of basically played out. Like, okay, we get it, whatever. When you see a taller woman with someone that's shorter, it's just adorable to me. I really, really liked it. I don't think you should care at fucking all. I think it's adorable. I think you should embrace it. And if you like him, girl, fuck it. Who cares? What are you gonna do when you lay in bed at night next to them? You're gonna be like, well, what are people thinking? No. What? Someone said, I'm trying to heal my inner child, but I don't know how to go about it. Any help? Talk to your younger self. Write to your younger self. Picture your younger self, right? If it was 6 years old, if it was 12 years old, if it's 20 years old, picture that version of yourself that you think needs a hug and tell them what you would wish that someone would have told you at that age. Be the grown-up that your younger self needed. Be there for yourself. It's never too late. You have to literally be like, hey, I love you. I know you're feeling sad right now, buddy, but it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be strong. You're gonna get out of that situation and you're going to heal. That's how I feel like you would take that little first step and that first dive into that. How do you become confident? I think I became super confident when I just got tired of giving so many fucks. Okay, that's literally an episode that's coming up for the podcast. By the way, podcast out every Monday. Mwah. Follow the podcast Instagram. When I hit the breaking point of getting so fed up with caring about other people's thoughts, especially when they were so different from my own. Like, oh, I like the skirt. Oh, you shouldn't wear that skirt. Okay, I don't like that skirt anymore. What? You need to stop giving a fuck. Stop giving people the power to like dictate how you view yourself. The beauty industry is fucked. It's getting a little bit better, but when I was modeling, it was just absolute shit. It was tragic and it was disgusting, okay? And a lot of the places still are like that. They make you think that you have to look one way in order to be beautiful. Stretch marks are not a thing to be proud of. Under eye circles are kind of ugly. You know, gaps in your teeth aren't normal. They're very normal. All of it's normal. For some reason, we're taught that it's not normal so that we spend more money on the beauty industry. They're capitalizing off of our insecurities and we need to recognize that, okay? They don't want you to feel beautiful. If every woman felt beautiful and didn't need to do lip injections, face injections, boob jobs, butt jobs, wear makeup, style their hair, that whole industry would go kaput. Okay, it would literally go kaput. It would light on fire and disappear into ash, where it probably belongs, but I don't think we're gonna get there for another couple fucking decades. This one got me shook. He drags my appearance and my facial features, but then says he's joking. I would never speak to him again, sweetie. If they're mean to you, that means they like you. Well, don't be. Grow some balls. Don't be mean to me. That's like not cute. No. Does it make you feel good? When he drags you and makes fun of you, does it make you feel good? Is he doing it in front of other people? No, absolutely not. Why am I so easy to leave / forget? This is something that so many people think when like someone breaks up with them and then immediately gets into another relationship or whatever the case may be. Your worth is not dictated by anybody else but yourself. You forget that. Think about it as your guardian angels kicking the trash out. They're not the right person. Because someone leaves, you don't make that about yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm shitty. It's because I did this, because I did this. What is that gonna do for you? Nothing. Fall out of that pity party and realize that you're worth so much more than someone that doesn't see everything that you have to offer. Stop giving so many people power over you to make you doubt yourself. How is it being with a man that has kids of his own but y'all don't have any yet? It's interesting because I had a plan for myself. I wanted to have my first child. You never think about it until you're in my situation, but I always did want to have my first child with someone that's also having their first child. Like that experience together, that new experience. So when I thought about it, it kind of did like unsettle something in me where I felt like it wasn't the same and it wasn't going to be special and it wasn't going to be a beautiful thing that we get to experience together and whatnot. And I ended up communicating that to Ben, and he set all my worries aside. He was like, I've never loved anyone like you before. I've never experienced this love ever in my life. And he was like, when we have a child, it's going to be a completely different experience. He obviously loves all of his children, but the experience with me is just going to be different. It is going to be special. He's going to be there every step of the way, and he's going to love that child. And it's going to be a brand new experience. And the only way that it will be taken from me is if I let, you know, my thoughts go to negative places, or like, you know, bring up his past that we can't change and we can't do anything for. Also, I wouldn't even want him to get rid of his past because I love his children now. They're absolute angels and they're a big part of my life. So that's kind of how I handle that and I deal with that. And, you know, like I said, like I really care about his kids, and they're good humans and they're good people and they're my family now. And I think that's something to be grateful for. I value his children. I do. So, yeah. My ex rushed me into a relationship just to dump me a few months later. Like, why? Probably because they haven't made up their mind on what they want in life, and they're messy and sloppy, and they didn't respect you enough to not pull you into that. A lot of the times you have people that come up and be like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I care about you, I want the best for you. But then they do things that prove opposite. Keep your eyes open. Do not let them put those rose-colored, red-colored, love-colored goggles on your face and then you become an idiot. Don't let them make you look stupid. Stand up for yourself. Don't accept that bullshit, okay? And honestly, it's probably a good thing that it's happened, because now you're not going to go back to them again. Now you know. Oh, this was a long one. My boyfriend has in the past texted/sexted other women. For some reason I forgave him, but lately I've been thinking I shouldn't have. Recently he's passed loyalty tests though. What do I do? Forget the past since he's seemingly loyal now. Please keep private if that's okay, of course. I think no relationship will ever be perfect, and I do think people can grow and change. So if you actually see actions in him that are showing that he's changing, I would just stick to it. If you love that person, you know, I know that people have that rule that like once someone fucks up they can never change. I am literally a testament to the fact that you can fuck up. I've cheated on someone in the past. I was really young and really dumb, but I hurt someone in the past. I didn't give a fuck at the time, and then 3 months later it hit me. I was like, whoa, I hurt that person's feelings. It was so stupid, and it's like I don't know, it was like a weird process in my brain, but I felt guilt. Like I felt deep guilt for like one of the first times. Like I literally felt like shit, and I learned from that. And because of that, I would never do that to anyone else ever again. Ever, ever, ever. You can make mistakes and then grow as people. I don't think one mistake haunts you for the rest of your life. But trust your gut. You know if they're moving weird at the end of the day. But I wish you well, and I hope you figure that out. Can men judge women by their career and their financial status? It's a guy, and he said, can I date on my level? You could do whatever you want, honey. You can do whatever you want. Everyone has a preference. You know, some men want to find a woman that they can take care of for the rest of their life. That's the type of man that they are. Some men want a woman that has drive and goals and makes money for themselves. You know what I mean? Like that depends on what you're looking for. Some men want a stay-at-home wife, a stay-at-home mom for the kids. Some women find it attractive if she puts on her little lawsuit every morning and goes and makes some changes in the world. It depends on what you want. You can do whatever you want, you know? I don't think you need to be rude to women that are different than what you would look for in a woman, but do whatever you want. Date whoever you want. How does someone move on after 9 years and a child? Honestly, honey, I've never had to do that. I think that the best advice I could give, and if I was to try to put myself in that situation, it would be to focus on you and your baby. Focus on how you would want someone to love them, and then want that for yourself as well. Focus on the beauty that you got to bring into this world, and date yourself until you find someone that you think is really kind to you and loves your baby and loves yourself. You will move on in time because you'll start to fall in love with yourself and the world around you and your relationship with your child, and you will get through it. I know it sucks, but it's not going to be the final chapter in your story, honey. How do you talk to guys who are TikTok famous without being seen as a fan? I have no idea. I haven't talked to any of them, so I don't know, maybe try to run into them on accident and play it cool like that. I don't know though. Someone said, I feel like I'm always bringing out the worst in my partners. How do I fix this? I think that's doing work internally. I could tend to do that sometimes too. Like a few years ago, I would want to see someone lose their mind. And it was like a weird way of me to know how much they genuinely cared about me. But that was something that I had to reflect and do deep work internally before I started dating someone, because it just meant I wasn't ready for a relationship. I think you can do work on yourself in a relationship if you're already in one. I would probably note to go to therapy. Try therapy. It's really amazing. I definitely recommend it to anyone. And be ready to recognize your own faults, because that's what people hate to do, say, oh man, I was wrong. So be ready to do that, because it's okay to not be perfect. I think one of the best questions you can ask someone on the first date is what their values are. Like, what do you think is important in life? What do you love about life? What energy are you drawn toward? What makes you the most happy? When are you most comfortable? When are you most secure? What are your goals for the future? What do you want out of your life? I think those are all really important questions to ask, but mainly the values one, because that I feel like is what really ruins relationships in the future. But plus maybe politics for some of y'all out there. Advice on struggling to let go of people who don't deserve you because you care about everyone's feelings. Stop caring. I don't mean to be rude when I say this, but like, you waste so much of your energy caring about people. Stop. If they don't deserve you, let them the fuck go. If they're treating you bad because they don't care about you, why are you caring about them? Let them go. Who gives a fuck about them? Get out of my face. Absolutely not. Let them go. It's that simple. Love yourself more than you love them, or their perception of you and your kindness, because clearly they don't care about it in the first place. You deserve better. Should I keep my relationship private? We just hit 2 months. So that's a tricky one. I think it's all about what you want. Do you want to post them? Or do you want to keep it on the DL? I still miss my ex, but he doesn't want me, but he still watches all my stuff. What does this mean? This means that you need to block him. How to start a self-love journey? You just did by asking that question. Read. Google, listen to podcasts, go to a yoga class, look at what you're putting into your body, go work out, go for a walk in the morning, try meditation. These are all ways to just dive into yourself more. Do you think watching porn is bad for a relationship? I actually don't think that you need to be insecure about that in a relationship, but everyone has different values. If you don't like it, it's something that you absolutely just are uncomfortable with, that's up to you on like you communicating that to your partner in the future. I personally don't care, but if you do, that is also respected. How to not fall in love with abusers? First of all, I think you need to recognize patterns, and then recognize that you have a really low self-esteem probably that makes you feel like you have to prove yourself to these abusers, and you don't. Stop feeling like you need someone to validate you. You can validate yourself. Get it from yourself. Someone said, do I make it official and end hoe phase? I would try to settle down for a second. See how you like it, queen. When you're a hoe, sometimes you can get chlamydia, and chlamydia sucks. Would you cut off a guy for not getting you a birthday gift? I think it depends, honestly, on how long you've been together. But if you've been together for more than 2 weeks, I think he should at least get you a card. And if you've been together longer than a month, yes, you absolutely should have gotten flowers. And if he doesn't give you a gift after a month, I would absolutely cut him off. A fucking happy birthday text does not cut it. Are you kidding? At least send me $50. No, matter of fact, send me $250. How do you keep going in life? Honestly, Lexapro and Lamotrigine. I never knew that people felt like this. You don't have a billion thoughts throughout the day that are negative, telling you to hate yourself, that you're not worth anything, and then 5 seconds later switch to that you're the baddest bitch in the world and that you can do anything you put your mind to. Like, that's not a normal thing to go through a billion times every single day to make yourself feel like you're losing your mind. That's crazy. When sucking the D, why do guys not want to kiss after? I think not wanting to kiss after giving any sort of head is a very big indicator that they do not care about you that much and that they are childish. How do you tell an adult kid that you just moved back and with your parents to save money? Literally just like that. Don't be insecure about it. A lot of people live with their parents. Life is fucking expensive, honey. It is not weird to live with your parents. I looked it up. I live in Florida and I know Florida's really, really expensive. And I looked it up in Miami specifically because all the rent for a 1-bedroom is at least like $3,000. And they said most people do not move out of their parents' house until they're 28. Reflect on that and give yourself a break. I've recognized that I'm waiting for what truly aligns with me and now I'm bored and lonely. That's a good thing. When you're on your spiritual path, you'll realize that most of the people that you like, you don't like. Most of the things that people like doing, you don't like doing. And that's fine. Be bored. I'd rather be bored than be with drama. You know, I get it. If you're that bored, watch the Bad Girls Club. If you're that bored, watch Vanderpump Rules and you'll find some spice in your life. But other than that, I'd rather have peace than drama. How to love and cultivate yourself outside of your relationship. This is so important because I do think that there's a bad stigma that you cannot ever grow or evolve individually in your relationship. I think it's important to create space and you cannot be too codependent on one another. Like me and Ben are super hypersensitive. So if he ever comes in with a certain energy where he's like anxious or stressed out or whatever, it immediately would affect me and I could feel it bubbling up in my body and I would literally get anxious and overwhelmed as well. And then in turn, that didn't help either of us. You know what I mean? So creating that space in your relationship where I would wake up in the morning and I would go into a separate room and I would do my reading or my yoga or my journaling or whatever. I would take time for myself out of the day. I would schedule a day of the week where I could just relax and do a face mask by myself, listen to music. You need to create time for yourself, because when you don't, it doesn't allow you to have your independence, and you don't want to lose your independence in a relationship. And I think that question is like, proud of you. I'm proud of you for even asking it. What do you do when you start to overthink and feel like you're not good enough? I actually am going to do a video on this soon, because I had a panic attack one morning and then I took you guys along with me on like what I did for myself that day. But what I love to do is I love to go for a nice walk, and I love to go for a nice run, and I call it like a gratitude run or a gratitude walk. I listen to my favorite music and I just like run until I can't think so much, you know, and I think about all the things that I love, even though it sucks sometimes that it's hard to do it. And if you need to set a 5-minute timer so you can rant and complain, after that 5 minutes is over, shh, okay, talk about the things that you're grateful for. Because in bad times, it's so hard to actually allow yourself to understand all of the things that you're blessed for. How can I be certain I'm bi? I don't know. I'd probably kiss a girl. I'd probably kiss a girl. You'll know. A lot of girls will get like drunk and kiss a girl, but they wouldn't go down and eat the kitty cat. So think about that. Like, are you down to eat the kitty cat? You know? Are you? Are you really? How to embrace your femininity with confidence. Masturbation. I think masturbation needs to be talked about a lot more. I'm going to do a video on it, but I think a big part of becoming fully confident in yourself as a woman is getting to know yourself as a woman. Stare at your punani, okay? Stare at her, okay? Put your legs like this and just look at her, okay? Admire her, okay? It's fantastic, it's amazing, it's beautiful, and it is the thing that drives everybody crazy, honestly, especially men. You know what I mean? Like, it's power right there. Like, it's not called pussy power for no reason. That is powerful. That's like some magic fucking shit right there, okay? He compliments me, but rarely. He says what's understood doesn't need to be said. That's stupid. So that means that you've already communicated to him, hey, you don't compliment me enough. And then he's saying what's understood doesn't need to be said. Clearly, if she's asking, then it's not. Even if it's understood, it's still nice to get a compliment. So I would explain it again, and if he doesn't change his actions and doesn't care enough about you to like actually be like, hey, you're beautiful, I would just not talk to him anymore, because that's a little sus and kind of like a red flag. And the last one I'm going to answer, because I have to go to the football game, says how to move on / not compare yourself if your ex found another person immediately after the breakup. Oh, I think I've talked about that in my how to not get played one video, but that is a really big struggle. I remember feeling pain and like I couldn't stop comparing myself to that girl when one of my exes moved on immediately after. It was like the weirdest thing. I was like, well, I just couldn't understand it, and it does suck. But I think that what you don't realize, if that person left your life, they're not for you. They're not for you. They're not for you. And that's okay. That does not take away from who you are as a person. That does not take away your beauty. That just means they weren't for you. That means your angels up there that are guiding you were like, no, that's not going to work out. So do not, even though I know it sucks sometimes, don't compare yourself to that person. Don't make yourself feel like you've done something wrong, okay? Let them go. Wish them the best, what the fuck ever. Do not let them affect you. Focus on yourself, focus on what you need. And most of the times, and I'm honestly gonna tell you from personal experience, most of the times when you move on super quickly after the relationship is over, that just means that you have a lot of work to do internally that you're ignoring. And instead of working on that, you're moving on to a relationship to distract yourself. So that is something I think is super, super important. Going on a first date soon. I need advice on how to make sure it doesn't get awkward. Confront it. In my speech class, I would really walk up and be like, I'm really nervous, and it would make me less nervous. So you walk up and be like, I just don't want this to be awkward. Like, he. He's probably gonna think it's cute and be like, ha ha ha. Is being awkward okay during sex? I think it's like kind of funny. If you guys can laugh at yourselves and be like comfortable and be vulnerable and be honest to one another about like, oh, I feel kind of like awkward, blah, 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 and laugh about it, I think that's great. I think it shows that like you're with the right person. So I would not worry about it at all. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I love you so much, and I'm going to be doing another Q&A probably soon. I love talking to you guys and answering as many questions as I can. I love you again. Thank you so much for the support. Remember to stay tuned into my podcast episodes every Monday and the podcast Instagram page along with my Instagram page, and don't forget to subscribe. I love you, babies. Mwah.